are, dear. Some nice milk for your bath.
Oh, thanks, darling. That'll be beautiful. Oh, lovely. What do you reckon, Ducky? That's what I thought. Beautiful for our complexion. Lovely. My great-grandfather come from Scotland and come to Beechmont here to build a house for Fitzgerald in the late 1880s. He was a builder, so they actually built a slab hut to start with, which eventually became their barn. And as the years went on, they built a house and everything else that went with it.
My father was a baker by trade, but when times were tough with their large family, he went out on the downs lumping wheat. He married my mother, and she was a dairy farmer at Numinbah Valley. When I married Greg, he was a cabinet maker and a shop fitter.
I wasn't a great scholar. I was keen to get out of school as soon as I could, and I was only just 15 at the time. And I wanted to come back on the farm. And Dad said, well, you can come back on the farm, and there's plenty of work for you, but there's no pay. His advice to me was to get a trade. I got married, I finished my apprenticeship, we got married and lived on the coast for a few years, bought our own home down there, and Dad got to the age at 60 where he could retire. And they'd had enough at that stage and decided that they were going to sell the farm. Wendy and I stuck up our hand and said, well, how about we have a go at buying the farm from you? Mum and Dad were able to retire but stay in their house, and they travelled the world, but always there to give us a hand as well. Dad had come and helped me in the dairy all the time. Mum and Dad were there to watch their 4 grandchildren grow up, and were a great hand to both Wendy and I, so it worked out really well for us. We weren't rich by any means, but we made a living. We were able to support the family of 4 kids. Lived fairly frugally, but we had a good life. And we were to the stage where we were looking to expand.
We designed a new dairy that had a viewing platform in it that people could come and watch us milk.
This was all in play when it was announced that there was a likelihood of the dairy industry deregulating.
Essential oils only float around on the surface of the bath. By adding Providence Farm bath milk, it helps to evenly disperse the oils throughout the bath. And pour it into a nice warm bath. This is a good relaxing bath for just before you go to bed.
Oh, thanks, darling. Not only is it good for my skin, it smells good too. And all that was being deregulated was the price of the milk. All the other rules and regulations were staying in place. It was only the price. We worked in the deregulated industry for 5 or 6 years.
We were milking up to 90 cows in our little walk-through dairy, which is really maximum.
Yeah, we were slowly going backwards, in other words. So things got pretty hard for us to continue on as we were. We actually made the decision to put the cows on the market. And the idea was that we'd sell all the cows, sell our milk entitlement, which would mean that we could clear all our debt. We would be debt free. We'd still own the farm. We'd still have our own home, and that I'd probably need to go out and get a job of some sort. We were left with all our young heifers. It got to the stage where these young cows were all starting to get ready to calve. Wendy had wanted to make some cheese, and I said, well, we're going to have some milk available. If you wanted to learn to make cheese, now would be the time, because once the cows are gone, that'll be it. We'll have beef cows. As we researched it further, we found more and more hurdles put in front of us. It didn't matter whether we produced 100 litres of yogurt or 10,000 litres of yogurt. All the fees and costs were the same. And so there was a lot of milk started to become available on the farm, and we just offered it to a few of our neighbours, saying we've got surplus milk, would you like some milk? And it didn't take too long, word of mouth, that we had complete strangers turning up on our doorstep saying, do you sell raw milk?
All milk for human consumption by law must be pasteurised, not necessarily homogenized, but just pasteurised.
Pasteurisation is a process. It's a cooking process, and it kills all good bacteria and a lot of the enzymes that are in the milk. So therefore, a lot of these people that were out there looking for unprocessed food were looking for raw milk, and they were prepared to pay a premium price. Totally different story to cows. I've never handled goats up until about 4 or 5 years ago. If there's only 1 or 2 goats, they'll treat you as one of the herd. I find them very good company and good to work with. And so we started milking a few goats, and surprise, surprise, there was a real demand out there for Bath goat milk as well. I only milked 8 does last season. This season, which will start in the next few weeks, we'll be up to about 22 goats, and we'll probably build from there.
Time to crank up some milking machines, I think.